check, 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need. Get over the fear and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Today is podcast 247. That means 3 more podcasts, and I'll have 250 of these podcasts. I think I have close to 20 interviews, and I know I have over 90 daily deals. So I'm going to have like 60, 70 podcasts. That's crazy. I'm enjoying myself, though. I like doing this, so I appreciate you guys sending me your questions. And remember, send your questions to support@michaelquarles.com. Check out my coaching program, $11.97 or $247 a month for 6 months. And let's get you trained to buy houses for profit. First question: am I violating any laws by putting on my business card $500 cash for any lead that closes? Well, it really depends. That's a great question. And I don't put it on mine because, I would be violating the law. And the reason I would be because I'm a broker. And you cannot pay someone a fee based upon performance unless you pay that person as a broker and they are, in fact, a licensed broker. So for me, it would be a violation. I'm not so certain it's a violation for the non-broker, non-agent person. Now, it's a violation for the person to receive it because they're acting as a real estate professional. But I would check with your attorney and ask them that question. I wouldn't advertise it. Anytime that I ask for referrals, I never bring it up. Now, naturally, if I'm talking to a friend, I'm going to bring it up because I trust my friend, kind of thing. There's nothing wrong there, kind of stuff. And but just be conscientious that if it's a real estate professional already, that they can't even accept it. You're getting them to break the law that they, of their license. And unless they're a broker, if they're a broker, then do it all day long. No big deal. And again, if you're an agent, licensee, you're a broker, then you've got to be conscientious that you can't offer it because there's ramifications there. But check with a real estate attorney in your local market. I'm not an attorney. Question number 2. I have an account with Propelio, something like that. And they send me a daily list of new probates and appointments of substitution of trustees. How frequently should I send mail out to these folks? I would send month 1, month 2, month 3, month 6, and month 9 or 12. So hit them hard for the first 3 months. You're going to go off of it for a couple months, hit them again, go off of it for a couple months, hit it again, go off of it for a couple months, hit it again. Because you're going to have some people that are urgent, want to sell it now. Some people haven't gotten over the emotion of a probate kind of thing. And so it's going to take them longer to go. So we're, an equity and seller I'll do every month. I'm not going to do that with probate. But great question. Question number 3. How aggressive is too aggressive when it comes to follow-up? How many times can I call before she considers restraining her options? Well, you've got to be polite. So someone calls you, leaves you a message. Hey, I'm calling you about a postcard I got in the mail. 3 times. 3 strike rule. I called you today, called you tomorrow, called you the next day. You didn't answer the phone. I'm going to call you at 15, 30, 60, and 90. Made you an offer. I don't know if you've accepted it yet. I'm going to call you day 3, day 5, day 7. Talk to you on the phone. You said to get back to you. I may do 3, 5, 10. But I'm still going to call you back at 15, 30, 60, 90. The reason I'll stop at 90 is that's a do not call limit. Even though we don't have a service or a product that we're selling, I still think you have to, kind of honor the concept of the do not call. They called you. They gave you their phone number. They've made the point to talk to you. At that point, then you can call them up to 90 days, which is the same thing we do with text. So, I could text a prospect every day saying, hey, you called me yesterday. Hey, you called me 2 days ago. Hey, you called me 3 days ago. Yeah, they'd probably opt out of the text. And you can't do that with sellers that have called in. Now, if you're calling FSBOs and expireds and maybe some active for rents or some unlawful detainers, I'm gonna call them every day, because if they're a FSBO, the chances that they're going to change their mind and go from a FSBO to an agent is pretty great. We know 92% of FSBOs will end up listing their house. And so I'll call them because I know that the window of opportunity is short. So I'm not going to call them forever. But because they're, a week or two, they're going to decide to do something different. But other folks that call in 15, 30, 16, 90. Question number 4. After you speak with the lead, what information do you enter into your CRM? We have 18 questions. So during the process, we're going to get their email so I can send them email follow-ups. We send them 29 letters over 59 days. We're going to gather, of course, the property address, loan information. There's a series of 18 questions, and those scripts are available. They're like, oh gosh, they're included in the gold coaching program that is only $11.97 or $247 a month for 6 months. But if you don't want to do the coaching program, you can buy them. I think they're $4.97 for the Alex and Ryan inbound scripts and their Alex and Ryan follow-up scripts. So all that package is $247. But there's a ton of information. We ask 18 questions. So great question, though. By the way, I gotta plug something here since someone brought up CRM. It is what is it? We're at the end of 2016. Within about 30 days, we're going to have a CRM, and it is going to be free to the coaching students.
Thanks for listening. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through Yellow Letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
So if you're a coaching student inside the program, you're going to have a very, very robust CRM system. So here's what this thing will do. This is cool. It'll have the script to talk to them, whether they're a buyer or a seller. That's kind of cool too. You can load all your database in there. So all the people you're marketing to, you can load that in there. It's going to manage your contracts, so you can load your contracts in there. You can manage appointments. You can manage inspections, appraisals, repairs, repair costs. You can manage showings if you're an agent or if you're selling your property yourself. If you're renting it, you can manage your rental portfolio. You can write letters with it. You can do all kinds of really cool stuff. And it's going to be free for my coaching students. Kind of cool stuff. Question number 5. If I budget $500 a month for marketing, should I do more houses and use only postcards, or should I vary my marketing material? Which costs more and do fewer houses? Yeah, but think about the numbers for a second. $500, let's assume for $500 you can get 1,000 postcards. And for $500, you can only on average do cluster marketing and get 600 prospects. So let's assume for one way you can do 1,000 prospects, the other way you can do 600. But now let's look at it from a different perspective. What is, and your postcard rate, let's assume for a second you get 1%. So 1% of 1,000 is that, 10, okay? Let's assume for a second your first mailing you get 1%, but you're only mailing 600 postcards because of the budget, and you get 6. But your second month you're mailing Yellow Letters to the same 600 people, and your response there is 8%. So now the first month you're a negative of 4 calls. Second month, though, 8% of 600 is 48 compared to the 10 that you'd get again. So now you're 38 calls ahead. Your third month, you're going to do the large postcard, so it's going to get a little bit better, but let's assume it doesn't. Let's assume it's only at that 1%. So you're going to get the 10 you would have got if you mailed at 1,000, and you're only going to get 6 if you do the cluster. So now you're 38 ahead minus 4, so you're 34 ahead minus now 4, so you're 30 ahead still. The month after that, you're doing professional letter. Your professional letter is going to get you over 2%. Let's assume for a second 2%. So now you're doing the 10 that you would have done if you did 1,000 postcards, but now you're doing, because you're doing letters, professional letters, you got 2% on 600, so now you got 12. So now you're 2 calls ahead. So now your total calls, you're 32 calls ahead. So the next month, where you would have done postcards, you would have gotten 10 calls. You're now doing a greeting card. You're going to get calls, but they're not going to be in abundance. Let's say you only get a 0.5%. Greeting cards aren't instant gratification. They're long-term gain. So 0.5%, you're going to, on 600 pieces, you're only going to get 3 calls. So now you're 7 calls. So now you're still 25 calls ahead. The 6th month, you're going to do the zip contract. If you had done the 1,000 postcards, you're going to get 10 calls, but the zip contract's going to do at least 2.5%, probably 3. But let's assume for a second, let's go down to the 2 again. So 2 out of 600 is 12 calls instead of 10 calls, so you're 2 ahead. So no matter how you look at it, cluster marketing, fewer prospects, is going to get you more opportunity, month in and month out, even, with the exception of the first month. But the beauty of starting it this way and doing it this way is that first month, especially if you're in my coaching program, you're going to get ready for success. Success doesn't come just from putting mail in the mail. You have to know what to say to these folks and how to attract the right folks in the first place. So, great question, but you have to understand what the numbers mean behind, what you're doing. And the reality is 1,000 postcards won't work as well as the 600 cluster marketing pieces of mail. It just won't. It won't. Now, the reason that guys and gals do only postcards is because they're doing like 40,000 of them at a time. So they're only wanting highly qualified callers in the first place. And so they're using the postcard to do a lot of filtering. We don't want to do that in the beginning of our business. We do not want to filter that heavily in the beginning. But they need to, because they're marketing to so many folks. So if they're doing 40,000 folks and they're getting a 1%, they're getting a bucket load of calls, and they're prepared for that. But in the beginning of most careers, let's start doing something different. Let's figure out your market. Let's learn what we need to learn from the lead capture perspective, and then the lead fulfillment perspective, what to say to them, how to buy a house and that kind of stuff, how to sell it for profit. Interesting questions. I appreciate them. And remember, send them in. Send them to support@michaelquarles.com, and we'll get them asked and answered. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.